On September 22nd, 2013, this is BridgeHands Social Lesson number 12, Day 3 on Declare Play. And this time, on Part 1, 2, and 3, we're going to take a look at hold-ups and promotion. Now, you recall we've taken a look at some of the different ways for Declare to make extra tricks, certainly to make their contract. And one was finesses. We looked at that before. You'll see more on that today with our holdback plays for entries. Another was roughs. We discussed that, but we're going to take a little twist and turn going off into no trump contracts. And for sure, we're going to take a look at promotion today. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at some strategies when it makes sense to disrupt the opponent's communications. That is the holdback play. So okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some theory here. So first off, we're going to take a look at promotion. What are we doing? We're trying to win the race against the opponent. Yes, when we're in a no trump contract, let's say 3 no trump, we're trying to promote our long suits before the opponents promote their long suits. And one of the ways we do that is we have to sever the communications. We can't always just take our tricks and run. So sometimes we have to hold back a trick or two before we win with our high cards, normally aces or kings, before we go ahead and start to promote our suit. That is, if they have 5 and 3 or 6 and 2, we want to be sure that if the person who has few cards in the suit wins the trick, that they can't get back to their partner's hand. We'll go into that in more detail. And we also want to take a look at the opponent's bidding. That's another one of the criteria, as well as their play. That means the lead, the third hand play, and other things too. What's that, you ask? Well, some of the inferences, their gestures, their mannerisms. Now, we do it at our own peril. It may or may not benefit us, but when we see an opponent that seems to be fidgeting a lot, they've got something going on in their hands, especially if they're on the opening lead. Maybe they don't want to finesse themselves. They don't have a sequence suit, that sort of thing. So those are things we want to consider when we start thinking about our play strategy. Well, another one of the items is, if we're going to disrupt communications, is this thing we call the rule of 7. Jerry Fox and others have touted this concept, and if it's claimed by several people it's their method, then it must be pretty good. Although it is a guideline, it is not a hard and fast rule. But how does it work? Well, first of all, we take a look at 7, and then we're doing a subtraction from the number 7. And what are we subtracting? The length of our cards in a hand in a side suit that they're trying to promote, and in our partner's dummy. So if we happen to have 3, and the dummy happens to have 3, 3 and 3 is 6, 6 from 7 is 1, we hold back one time. We don't win the first trick, we win the second trick normally. And how about if it's 3 and 2? 3 and 2 is 5, hold back 2 times, hold back twice. Okay, well, sometimes we're not always going to hold back. When is it we're not going to want to hold back, to suppose? Well, one, of course, is if the contract is safe. If we can go ahead and take our tricks and run, sure, by all means. Another is when they might switch to another suit. We'll see some of those today also. That is where we take a look at another suit and we have even more jeopardy in a second suit. And if they don't continue that first suit, sensing that we're doing a holdback play, then yeah, we don't want to go ahead and do the holdbacks. We want to go ahead, cash out, take our tricks, and run. Now I realize that some of you that are playing duplicate match point, that an extra trick and over trick is important. Sometimes you take some risks. But if you're playing an imps format or a rubber contract bridge game, we want to have safe contracts, don't we? So sometimes we don't use the rule of 7, but it happens many times. That is when we have a side suit where we have some losers. We're not trying to promote it. They are. Remember, they're trying to win the race before we do. And if it looks like, let's say they lead a 4 or 5, and they're doing 4th best, they likely have something beneath it, so that might be a 5-card suit. So sometimes by holding back, the person, let's say that the person west is got 2 or 3 cards in the suit, if we hold back once or twice, depending upon our rule of 7, we can have, so when they get in on the east hand, they can't get back to west who made the opening lead. Okay? We'll have more on that soon. Okay, so what's real estate about? Location, location, location. And that's sort of true in bridge too, isn't it? We are interested in entries. Entries is the name of the game, not only in a trump contract, particularly so in a no trump contract, as we'll see today. And what are entries? Well, they're normally winning honors, aces, kings, queen, jack, 3 times. Sometimes we'll do it, if not the 10 accompanying it. That would be slow winners. But yeah, we normally want to have entries into our partner's hand. Our partner being the dummy. Yes, the dummy typically has less points than we do. So in that situation, what we're doing is we're sometimes wanting to promote dummy's suit. Maybe it happens to be a long minor suit, right? If they have a long major suit, we're probably going to be in a suit contract. If we have a 5 and 3 fit or a 6 and 2 fit, something like that. But normally, when we're trying to set up dummy's minor suit, let's say we're in 3 no trump, 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. Doesn't sound like partner made a statement bid. They're not looking for a 4-card major from us, or they would have started with 2 clubs. So in this situation, we're probably trying to promote a minor suit, and the opponents are probably trying to promote, you got it, a major suit. So those are things we need to consider. It could be, though, that we have a 5-2 and a major, and we're just slugging away trying to win that suit. Maybe we're missing queen third or something like that. Could be that there's queen 4, in fact, against us. Okay, so another thing to take a look at is how about finesses? And I said finesses. Sometimes we have in our hand an ace, queen, 10, 4 times or 5 times even in a suit. So we may need to get to the dummy once or maybe more than once, right? So we have to be careful the way we get back to the dummy, or if the dummy has some tennis cards themselves, as we'll see, do they want to play the highest one or the lowest one first? Interesting considerations, as we shall soon see. And of course, another thing we want to take a look at is some of these special considerations we do. How about if we cause the opponents to finesse themselves? Yes, the end play. That is where, at an appropriate time, we can see we can't make the contract, or maybe one of the opponents has opened the bidding or made a double showing 11, 12 points or more. We can attribute, remember we talked about the bidding earlier, that one of the opponents has the cards and our finesse won't work. So we might just take another suit, throw them in once we've got the hand stripped down, meaning that we want them to play a certain suit back to us, so they finesse themselves. Okay? All right, well, another one we want to take a look at is avoid breaking the frozen suits. Oh my goodness, a frozen suit. What's that all about? Well, let's imagine the suit went something like this. Here's the cards held by the players. Everybody, let's say, has a doubleton. A jack by west. A queen by north. A king by east. An ace and a 10 by south. If we play the ace and then try going to the queen, the kings can overtake it. If the person with the jack, doubleton, leads the suit, well, we can cover with the queen, the king, the ace, and our 10's good. So whoever breaks that suit is going to end up losing a trick. And there are sometimes that situation where around the table, everybody has a successively higher honor. And that would be the time you might want to say, oh, this is a suit, we better not to break this split ace, queen, 10. Try to get the opponents to break that suit in a no-trump contract. Okay, well, let's go ahead and head on over for the table, start playing some hands. We have a couple variations of each of these hands. One is the not so good situation. The other is like, yay, we did the right play. So we're going to see that at least 7 times. Okay, see you over at the table. Okay, so on our first hand, South, this dealer has quite a whopper of a hand with half the points. In spades, ace, queen, 10 4 times. There's 6, 3 baby diamonds. And in clubs, ace, king, queen 4 times. There's another 9, 6 is 15. And king, queen tight in hearts, arguably not quite 5 since it's a king, queen tight. But with the ace, king, queen, 4th, it looks like that could be a promotable suit, so maybe you get one back. Yeah, I would say play for about a 20-pointer and balanced. I'd say let's open 2 no trump. Over to the west hand. It's a 4-4-4-1, not many points, of course. and a singleton spade. Okay. To the north hand, it is a flat pancake special for 333. Of clubs, 10, 9, 8, 7. Well, nice body cards. Hearts, we don't like Jack 3 times, but Jack 10, 9. Okay, some pushers. In diamonds, Jack 9 3 times, not bad. And in diamonds, King, Queen, finally a working suit. We wish it was a longer suit if it's touching honors, but okay. So we've got arguably 7 points. So 3 Notrump. No reason to do a Stamen 3 club bid here because we don't want to have a 4-card major. So it is 3 Notrump is our call. And over in the east hand, they've got some points, 11 points, 2 aces in the red suit, King 5 times in spades, and a singleton club. So a pass, and everybody then passes out. 3 Notrump is the play. So we'll see. What do you want to lead from west here? I think the Jack of Diamonds, Jack 10, 9, 4 times. We kind of want to lead a major because North didn't make a Stamen call. You might be thinking about that 8 of spades, because where are all the spades if North doesn't have 4 of them? Not a bad consideration. You don't really have a lot of re-entries, do you? But they decide to play a Jack of Diamonds. Okay. So the Jack is played, and North, from the dummy, a Queen comes up, the Ace, and a little. Now, we spoke just a little while ago about the rule of 7, holding back once. We've got 3 and 3 is 6. Why not hold back one time? Good question. Well, it could be, I suppose, it has Ace, Jack, 10, 4, or 5 times in diamonds. In that case, if we've got the King, Queen, 3rd behind the Ace, Jack, it would have been the right play, but we're going to have to hold back sometime sooner or later. But it may not make a difference if we can get our tricks first. And we'll see how the declare does this. Well, okay, East is going to come back from the doubleton with the high, high-low with 2 remaining count. The 4 is played to the 7, to the 9, and declare does not ask for a low diamond from North. That might have been a good time to do a holdback to disrupt communications, but goes up with the King, kind of brute force. We'll see how this works out. And strategy is, well, if the clubs cooperate, you've got 4-4. If they're 3-2 most of the time, about 62% of the chance, fine. They're only 4-1, 28, 1 and 4 times. But that's okay. If the Jack drops 3 times, that's okay. And boy, if you're thinking it could be Jack 4th and East, that's half of the time of the 28 is 14%. You're a bigger pessimist than me. So no, we're going to want to work on this spade suit. We're only missing the King. So, okay, so let's see how they do it here. They play a Jack of spades. Their teacher seems to tell them always play high from the short side. So maybe, we'll see about that. They play the Jack. So far so good. No cover by the East hand. Good on you. And another one is played. A 9 is played. Have to overtake with the 10. Let's see how that turns out. Play an Ace of clubs now, since we lost transportation to the north hand. Oops. So they're going to try dropping that Queen. And so far, so good. Oops, the second time. East shows out. So it was Jack 4th behind us. That's not good. Play the Queen, and now things are looking a little dicey. Yeah, you've got your King, Queen of Hearts would promote the Jack if you could get there, but that's looks like you could lose the race. Geez, you play a club, they win with the Jack, and here comes the diamonds. Fortunately, it wasn't a 5-3-3-2, it was a 4-3-3-3 that there was a 3rd one held by East, or it would have been much worse. And they win that last diamond. So, okay, they've got 4. We're booked, and if they make one more, oops, they sure do. And East finds himself in play, but we're down 1, so we didn't make our contract. Well, that was kind of a discouraging situation. We had 20. Our partners got 5, 6, 7. We should have had enough to make it. Where did we go wrong? Same hands by everybody, and we're going to see that lead of the Jack of diamonds. Could duck the first time, I suppose, but okay. Queen to the Ace. Could duck the second time, but it won't be matter this time. It all depends on the play of the spades. Entries, entries, entries. Location, location, location. And the correct play would be the 9 and then the jack of spades. If you played the jack, here's what happens. If you play the 10, you're okay. But if you played the 7, you've got no way not to win the next trick. So if you would have led the 9, that would have probably been a little bit easier. It's not intuitively obvious, is it? But if we smother the 10 under the jack, now the 9 is still going to hold in there. And the king is over in the east hand. We are going to win 4 tricks. And 4 tricks means we're going to make our contract. Yeah, and we would have got an over trick if the clubs had cooperated. They didn't. That 1 in 4 chance happened. And so what are you going to do about that? So at any rate, they win the diamonds, of course, when they get in. And we win the spade and the queen of hearts to make our game. So we could have played a little bit differently. We could have gone with maybe a low the first time, I suppose. But either rate, what's going to happen is when they play again, let's say they play a low, sure, you're going to go up and overtake it in east. They're going to come back with a diamond. We win it. We've still got the same predicament, don't we? If you want to play the 9 of spades, better play than the jack, then what happens is a low is played over here. Bing! We play the 7. We still have in the north hand. Because we have no entries back to this north hand. It's quite clear now, isn't it? So now we can play our jack. They want to cover it or not, fine. And normally we cover the last of touching honors. But when you got this much length, you might say, I think, no thank you. We're just going to hold back. They'll never get our king away from us. They win the 10. Okay, and I guess a heart is played over here. And here comes the 2. Right running through. How do you do? Right to the queen. And you can see at this point in time, we're going to make our contract as we saw before. All right, good. Next hand. Well, on our second hand, we won't be playing that until part 2, but let's do a little teaser and take a look at it. And it is south with a 4 triple 3, flat hand. Ace 10 3 times in spades, queen jack 4 times in diamonds, jack 10 3 times in clubs, ace 3 times in hearts. Not the best hand. 12 points. We'll open it 1 diamond. Over to the west hand, a 5 4 3 1, king jack 5 times in hearts, 8 7 4 times in clubs. Jack 3 times in spades, and a singleton 8 spot in righties diamond suit. No bid. I like to overcall as much as the next person, but there's just not enough points here. To the north hand, it is a 5 3 3 2. Diamonds partner suit. King 10 9 7 5 times. Good. That's 3 in 1 distribution is 4, I suppose. 5 points for the king queen 9 spot in clubs. 9 8 7 in hearts, still 9, and queen 9 spot in spades up to 11. Not enough to force game. Your call is either 3 diamonds or 2 no trump, depending upon your style. I'd say 3 diamonds. Over to the east hand. Well, you've got quite a few points, don't you? Aces in the minor suits is 8, each a 3-card suit. King 5 times in spades, and queen 10 in hearts. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1 distribution, 14. You'd like to bid, but don't. Show me how much your honors are touching. I don't see a one of them. Look at that. 1 honor in each suit. And you don't even really have a good suit to have partner lead, so bidding a spade suit is not really that productive. Even if the opponents were playing inverted minors, advanced players too, 1 diamond, 2 diamonds is what shows 10 points or more, and 1 diamond, 3 diamonds is a weak hand, usually less than 6 points. Yeah, I wouldn't even go 2 spades with that. No, not enough. And when they're showing 10 points or more and an opener, do not get in the auction. Your partner is bust. So pass. Back to south. Well, we'll take a look at that to see if they go 3 no trump in, and if they do. And if the heart is led, the 5 of hearts, and they go up with the queen, Are you going to win it? Are you going to do a holdback play? Sometimes you do, as we're going to see later, and sometimes you don't. So you have to take a look at the totality of the hand. But wait, there's more. Remember about the frozen suit? Let's look at that spade suit. Jack, Queen, King, Ace with a 10 behind it. Do you want to break the suit? More on that later too. So we're going to play 3 variations of this hand. It's not going to start off so pretty. Hopefully on part B and part C, things are going to look better. But that's just hand number 2. We have 6 or 7 hands, I think, in store. A part A and a part B for each one of them. So we're going to see if we can have some good lesson learned. We're going to take a look at things like the Bath Coup. We're going to take a look at more on entry management. We have a lot more in store. So, as always, at BridgeHands, come on down to our site, www.bridgehands.com, and don't delay. If you haven't, sign up today for our Premium, our Ultra membership. Premium is under $15, and the Ultra for a 12-month full year for under $50. So come on down. We'll see you over there, and look forward to seeing you on part 2 and part 3 with more on our promotion and our holdback plays and how we can do some of those finesses to maximize our tricks. Okay, see you on the flip side. Thanks for coming, and bye for now.